As of 9:27 this morning, the comments are in. And if you were one of those people who said that the difference is the bottom of the door, in other words, the bottom of the door is angled a little bit differently to accommodate the fact that the back of the turret is not angled the same way on both sides. Well, you were right. Now, for those of you who said there was no difference, you were almost right, because the difference is so subtle that I don't think it would make any difference if I was to get them all mixed up and get some in the wrong place. You wouldn't even notice it, unless maybe you were to, look straight on at the back with a macro lens or a magnifying glass or something. You're not going to notice the difference. Anyway, that was the difference. Now, for those of you who suggested paint this one here, this part here, the same color as the everything else, well, you're on the same page as me, because I sort of felt that way too. I think that this piece that's going to be going on the side here, like that, should be painted the same color as the rest of the turret. It's just too large to be something to be different. So then that brings into question, well, what about the barrels? The barrels are going to be the dark gray. Well, the reason I'm going to do the barrel the dark gray is because all the other barrels of all the other guns, and by now there is a lot of them, they are the darker gray. So I'm just going to continue on, even though on the real Bismarck, in all likelihood, the barrel on the main guns was the same shade of gray as the turret part. Anyway, and I don't know how things are going to go yet this morning. It's mid-morning already, and I do have to go grocery shopping, so we'll just have to see how this is going to go. Okay, I'm back. And I thought, okay, now maybe I can do a little bit of painting, but you know what? We should really get the photo etch first. And another thing, I suddenly realized that I had a little tin of tiny parts here that I didn't get, the N11s. So they took a lot longer than I thought. Probably because they're so terrible hard to hold on to. And they're going to go into the side. Something like, let's see if I can turn it around here. Not that it matters. They're supposed to go in something like that. But I was thinking that those could actually be the darker gray. They're very, very small. So I'm going to paint those the darker gray. The doors that go on the back, the darker gray. And the barrels, the darker gray. Everything else, I think, will probably be the lighter gray. It would be nice if I could, do the photo etch that is supposed to somehow go around the outside here, like this one right here. But I'm afraid that, that when I try to glue it down, that the paint is going to run. So I'm best off gluing them down and then just painting it the lighter gray. Now the ladder that goes on the side here, I wonder, is it marked on the side here where it goes? I guess you just sort of have to guess. Okay, according to the plan, it goes right about right here. Maybe I could paint it the darker gray and then carefully put it on afterwards and touch up places that with my tiny paintbrush. Anyway, I'm doing a lot of talking and not a lot of working. So let's maybe try and get the rest of the parts here for 61. I guess we're working on 61 now, because 60 can't be finished until the guns are painted. And then the idea is that you're supposed to put everything in and put the top down, and so it's kind of hard to do everything in order as you're supposed to here. At least I'm finding it that way. So let's see if we can find this ladder. What do we need here? Photo etch D34. Okay, correction. Probably somebody noticed that I the ladder is actually D37. D34, yeah, we need it. It is actually these two pieces here. And this is a case of where one number covers both pieces. Both of these are 34. And when we get to look for number 37, it's the same thing. There's two ladders right there. Oh my, where did that go now? I found it. Oh, I heard that one pretty good. For some reason, these were not making the usual little noise. Okay, we'll turn this around now and get the other side. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's little marks right here and here, and here where the ladder has to bend. So I would imagine that when I try to peel it off the sticky tape here, I have to be careful that I don't, kink it in the wrong place. That came off pretty good, didn't it? Okay, we need D25. That's this long piece here. And I was curious as to how long it was, and I was going to measure it. By the way, you notice it's damaged out here on the end. I guess in all the many times I pulled it out over the last few months to get little parts off of it, I must have caught this on something, but I think I can straighten that. So I was going to take my grandfather's old tape here. It's this tape measure is probably 80 or more years old. It's an antique. And on the other side here it says made in CAN. I'm presuming that means Canada, but it might mean something else. And the reason I think it might mean something else is because when you pull the tape out, okay, it's a, Stanley. I don't know if you can read that. Well, first of all, let's measure this. How long is that piece? Okay, it's about 6 3/4 inches. But notice if I can get the light just right here. Look at that. It says made in USA. Now that's interesting. Now I know Stanley is an American company. Okay, enough trivia here. Okay, it looks like there's only 2 tabs on this side. Okay. Now on this side, it looks like there's only 2 tabs as well. Probably going to get my hand up in your way there. Sorry about that. Okay, now I should be able to pull this off. There we go. Okay, we need 2 pieces of D31 and 3 pieces of D32. Well, there's only one 31 on each one of these D sheets. So that must mean that some of the other turret tops have something slightly different. Otherwise there isn't enough pieces. However, there is 1, 2, 3 of the 32. So yeah, we just go ahead and get those, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and get those off camera. We've done enough photo edge nipping here today. And I think that's it for today. So thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.